Aloha and welcome to another episode of BIIF Sports Now. I'm Mike Alameda alongside J.E. Orozco, and it's week 3 in the BIIF Fall 2019 season. In this episode, we'll recap last week's game of the week, which was football, Kalakaua at Konawaena. Welcome back to BIIF Sports Now, and as we said, we'll recap last week's game of the week, which was varsity football, Kalakaua at Konawaena. Now, J.E., you and I both had the pleasure to call that game, and we saw a lot of positives from both teams, but for you, what stuck out the most?
So you got them behind the 8 ball already, and they were pretty much that way the entire night. So, again, credit to Konawaena for letting themselves control the game.
You know, and I mean, we didn't even touch on the offense yet, right?
Yeah, again.
Now, I mean, now just to segue into the offense, I mean, Boo Jones, starting off his Konawaena career as a starting quarterback in BIIF, he had a phenomenal game. You know, going into it, we asked Coach Uemoto what was his strength, his footwork or throwing the ball. And, you know, Coach said, you know, we kind of want him to you know, get good at both. But clearly, man, we saw a quarterback out there that was so poised. He clearly had control of the Konawaena offense.
And, you know, the thing about it is we saw him get better as the game went on. The other thing, his passing, very sharp passes. Usually in high school, especially for younger athletes, younger quarterbacks, you're going to see the kind of a looping pass there. His were pretty much on a rope there. But again, as I mentioned, he seemed to get more confidence as he went on. And the thing I liked about him is it's a pass play. I have the option to run, but I'm not going to run. I'm going to go with what the pass or the play was calling for, and that is a pass. So he's got some help out there as well.
And you know, one thing that impressed me largely about Boo Jones was his ability to throw on the run. You know, we saw him in times, you know, because he was so uncomfortable in the pocket and he needed to move out, you know, even on the run, he could throw bombs. I mean, just to clear the ball, just to get it out. But that was like 35 yards on the run. That was, I mean, impressive.
And I mentioned his receivers, Jesse Conda, 2 touchdown receptions there.
Jesse
made some
Conda.
sure hands there. One of them reaching over the goal line to break that goal line pane of glass, so to speak, to score his, I believe that was his 2nd touchdown. So they've got a multitude of weapons there.
But very quickly, you know, you saw Hezekiah getting his reps in, and he's a very strong runner. He's very quick, and he's a true freshman. So I know Coach Uemoto is very optimistic about his future in the Konawaena Wildcat program.
We saw a lot of bubble screens. We saw a couple of other screens as well. So letting that aggressiveness of high school ball get in the way sometimes.
Coach Uemoto told us going into the game, you know, he doesn't have the quantity in terms of numbers, but he believes in the quality of his players. Now, we saw that night a lot of players went both ways, right? Rollback for one, Jesse Conda, another one, Ambrosio Anuha, another one. And we saw, you know, a lot of cramps.
Towards the end of the ball game. Makes sense.
Athletes were dropping like flies in regards to cramping. But I know that Coach Uemoto will now alter his training, right, to keep his players that go both ways from cramping. But you know what? Nonetheless, even though many of his players went both ways, they played like a championship team.
And you know what? It doesn't get any easier for them, too, because this week they've got the number 36 Max Prep ranked Mission Viejo Diablos coming into Yates Field, boy.
Although that may seem like an uphill battle, Coach Uemoto welcomes that challenge.
He wants to see it.
He wants that challenge. He wants his players to go.